Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 7 of the build guide 2. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for all the support across the series again, and we haven't actually, well, I'm recording this before this episode has gone out, so we don't actually have a name for the forestry area yet, but we will definitely name it next episode in part 8. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. You might have hated it, I'm not sure yet. The video has not gone out. However, what we do have in Orchid Bay is these little numbers, courtesy of our Patreon subscriber Scope. He made some signage for Orchid Bay. I've had to download Find It just very temporarily so we can place them in because it's a prop, of course. But wonderful, right? We'll definitely get rid of Find It as well after today. Look at this. What a great sign. That's so cool. I'll leave this asset link down below as well if anyone wants to come and download it. This one's a little bit in the shade, but welcome to Orchid Bay again. Very cool. And then it also dropped another one over here as well by the entrance to the city on the roundabout. So really cool. Thank you so much, Scope, for these billboards. They're absolutely amazing. And yeah, just so glad to see you guys enjoying the series so much still. However, in today's episode, I'd like to discuss what's going to happen. So campus is on the agenda for today. The city does have some significant education demands, especially for university. It comes to 4,000 now. And also high school and elementary are threatening to be wanted as well. So with campus and every previous campus build we've done on the channel from Palaven and Novaria, New York and Ilos, they've always been these kind of huge sprawling complexes. So this time what I'd like to do is just work on perhaps a little level 3 campus area, right? That's all I want to do today. And I'd also like to theme it. So I'm going to build it just to the north of our farmland here. So it's something of an agricultural college, perhaps, you know, engineering techniques for future agriculture are studied here and then applied at the local farm maybe before being applied on an industrial scale. Whatever sort of justification you want for it, of course, we'll let the comments decide the law as always. But really fun. Let's see what we can do with a compact campus for the first time, shall we? So we've started out as always like we do with industries, painted out our campus area. Again, please leave name suggestions down in the comments below. For the name of the agricultural college in Orchid Bay. Always happy to let you guys choose. But should be quite a fun build today. So I think I'm going to start this directly off of our main kind of cycle flow network that comes through here. We did also have some great suggestions as well of extending the cycle highway through this green belt and then actually connecting it into this one over here. So we'll definitely do that today as well. But yeah, so let's come in here. So I'd like to have a look at sort of placing in frames first of all in the build guide. It's something that we've done before. So let's grab our 2-lay one-way roads and I'm just going to use this to place in our campus main building. If you are missing campus, definitely one of my favourite DLCs that there's been for cities. I definitely recommend getting it. Again, links down below to Instant Gaming are available. So once I've drawn in that T, and then I'm going to actually delete it and then I'm going to come back in with these roads, and we want to go for about here. Is that going to be all right? Now let's come back to that 2-way road again, and then I'm just going to make a tiny roundabout. So of course this is going to help maintain the building's connection, but just very small, 2 deep little roundabout, and that should give us something like that. Okay, and then we can plan out the rest of the campus from this road. And in fact, it probably only needs a couple of roads in it. I'd rather use pathways for the majority of the build here. So let's come back into our trade school campus. So let's grab our university trade path. I think we'll go with decorations for this one. And then let's just draw in a nice big friendly frame now. And we can start placing in some of our assets. So again, I kind of want this to be very compact and for it to orientate itself against this main road network. So as you're driving past it, you kind of look out your window to your right and you see this big institution. And you're like, oh wow, you know, what happens here? That looks so cool, etc. It's kind of what I want to happen. So let's see what we can do. With that idea. It looks like this is the perfect spacing for some university dorms, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and factor those in. Let's bring down a little frame here. Okay, we'll connect back into this road as well. Of course, it is walkable. We're not having it function as highway road. So we'll have one dorm there, and then we can just double check how much we want the next one to come in by. Let's go ahead and see how long this is. There we go, that should do it. So we'll have 2 dorms in here. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, that's not too bad, is it? And then, of course, we do actually immediately have access to the police academy, which is a big building, and it's also going to increase the patrol car count and jail capacity and police department efficiency. So let's see how this affects our church building, shall we? Where's one of our churches? Which does need to rename these as well. We had the Church of the Cougar. Then also the Church of the Deer as well. Thank you so much for those suggestions. I really appreciate it, of course, based on the fact that our hunting grounds park does contain wild animals. And there's a wolf in here now as well. There you go, everyone. The story develops, doesn't it? So there's a wolf in the hunting grounds now. Okay, so we had the deer eat the cougar, and now it would appear the wolf has eaten the deer. Interesting developments, guys. So now we maybe need a Church of the Wolf as well. A rival church somewhere, maybe. Let me know what you think should happen with that, of course. But either way, what I did want to do was check out how exactly it affects the police count of these. So we have 10 holding cells and 4 police cars in a historical station. Let's bring some water pipes up here as well. Then what I think I'd like to do is have a back road come into the campus. So I'm going to draw this from a straight line out from this node here. And I want to draw up from this one if we can. I'm actually going to draw it out to the left first though. So I know that I can be directly lined up with this one here. Then bring that down and then delete those frames there. Okay. And then I know here that this road now is directly straight with this one, which is going to help me plan the campus in a little bit better. Cool, so we're on some uneven terrain here, but I don't mind a little bit of hillage. And then I want to bring this road behind the police academy, because I actually want to flip it around onto the opposite way. And then again, right as close to the main building as we can get it. And then there we go. Okay, so that's going to buff our police stuff. See exactly by how much. So we get an extra 5 cells and an extra car from placing down the police academy, which is pretty cool. So I'm happy with that. Right. And of course, that buff will continue to apply to all existing and new police stations as well. So it's nice to have that in the city. Okay, but look at this now, right? You're driving past here. You've got these big kind of office buildings, okay? There's definitely something important going on here, isn't there? So I want to try and respect that vibe. Cool, so let's check out the actual campus information itself. So we're very nearly at the student level, which is great. Campus attractiveness needs to come up as does academic work. Let's grant the first academic work just so it guarantees to come in. Like I said, I only really want to take this campus to level 3. I don't want it to be this huge, sprawling campus facility like we always do. Okay, cool. So let's come back into some pathways now. And then I'd like to see if we could come... Are you okay not snapping into the grid there, my friend? You alright? Should we come off the grid? Try to do it manually? There we go. So we'll start bringing in some shapes here. And then we'll place in the book club. Perhaps... Can we have you on the corner, I wonder, while still maintaining your connection? I bet we could. Yes, we can. I think I definitely prefer that shifted angle for the book club, so we'll keep that in. And then again, we'll use our pathways here to come to the angle and road length snap, and we just want to make sure we can wrap up the book club here with no problems. There we go. That's a nice little shifted angle, isn't it? It's really just hammers home the point of how much difference a little shifted angle can make. For those that have watched our ILO Stadium build, inspired by State Farm, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. Cool. All right. But I'm happy with this. Starting to develop its little campus area now, isn't it? We're definitely going to need more dormitories. So why don't we plan out some of those using some more of these pathways. I'd also like to build a park today as well that goes up the mountainside. We had a great suggestion from a comment. We'll come to this in a second. So now let's have a look at what else we got to place. So we also got a study hall. I do love these assets. Let's see where we might be able to squeeze this one in actually. Let's bring our path networks down now. So again, I'd like to see if we could... We probably don't need this anymore, I don't think. Let's delete this industry off. It's only a tiny bit of farm industry, it should be okay. And then I'd like a little bit of farm fencing, I think, to just separate the two different institutions. So let's go with the grid into this one here. Yep, so let's have that go up here and then down into there. It seems perfect. And then I want to use that university pathway to then run parallel with that fence line. There we go, as close as it'll go. And then we'll have this run probably down to here, and then it can connect into various different points across the campus as we place buildings to accommodate it. And this one down up here as well. So hopefully now we can place the trade school here, or the study hall. Yes, we can. Tremendous. But of course, orientation is everything, and this is one of our favourite assets, because if we read its description, the students with spare time can use the study hall to do their homework, projects, or prepare to exams. It's never not going to be hilarious, is it? It's always the classic, right? Wonderful, but of course we do need to prepare to exams, so let's move our study hall facing this way, and now we get those stairs facing into this kind of inner courtyard that's now beginning to develop as part of this campus. So I think I'm going to be happy with that, and then we also get this sort of nice blocky sort of building from the farm area now as well, right? Again, it's always fun combining different areas. For those that watch Parliament, you'll remember that we combined an Industries DLC oil area with a Park Life Nature Reserve. And sometimes thinking outside the box like that can lead to a really cool aesthetic, such as a trade school campus immediately next to kind of a industrial farm here, right? It's not an aesthetic we used to see in, which makes it interesting in my opinion. So how are we doing for campus attractiveness now? Probably a couple more dorms and then we'll be away. So I want to keep a little bit of these woods in the campus today, so why don't we separate our sort of next block of dorms a little bit further away here into the forest if we like. Okay, is that happy now? That's campus attractiveness, and we just need to wait for the academic works now. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and connect this road in so it actually goes somewhere. Let's come to road length as well. So I think while we wait for our campus to level up, get this hooked in here. And this can maybe go straight down into that little slip plane there. That does give access off of this road directly into the campus if they need it. So I don't think I'm totally averse to that. Right? But let's just see how this new facility is settling into the city. Not too dominant, is it? You can definitely tell it's something a little bit bigger, a little bit more important. But I'm enjoying it. It's nice. Absolutely loving this city, everyone. I can't stop playing it. It's so much fun. I absolutely love Vanilla City Skylines. It's just something so wholesome and charming about it, you know? Wonderful. Right, should we have a little chat about some decoration at the front of the campus here? So let's grab a rider statue, and we'll have this in the middle. There we go. And then I think a little bit of park fencing always goes quite a long way with a campus. Adds kind of a sense of boundary and facility to it, if you like, as does with most fencings. But we get a little park number in here. Let's break that fence there. We'll correct that one again in a minute. And I think just a pretty distinguished, luxurious live oak pattern running along here is going to do a job. There we go. And then lindens on the road and the pathways, because of course we can upgrade all these now, which is just the best. Wonder how the eastern cottonwoods look on a pathway actually. I think I do. I think I do like them, you know. The eastern cottonwoods make a difference. I guess though if it's everywhere, it's going to be a little bit too dominant, isn't it? This is the toughest part of the build. I decided what trees goes where, you know. I think a linden is tasteful enough, isn't it? Yeah, let's just keep it simple. I think we're trying to overthink it and it doesn't need it. We'll just do some linden trees around. Cool. But I like that here, okay? That's going to be a really fun entrance into our campus area. And I love that, you know, the fact that it isn't this kind of like really obvious facility, almost like, you know, look at me, I'm a campus area. It's a bit more chill, just sort of tucked away off the side of a main road here, and it's developing this kind of organic feel about it, which is really what I love with these campus areas. Okay, so while the campus grows up, I'd like to come and address a comment that we had left to us. So during the second episode of the build guide, I asked you guys what you think should happen with the mountain. Now, there's many suggestions. People said observatories, leave it totally empty, lots of rocks, car parking and viewpoints up here. There was tons of suggestions, but there's one that really stood out from Mr. Mad Mark, who said that it would be fun if the mountain was kind of swallowed by, you know, this sprawl of lights that grows around it, leaving just the dark hill exposed in and amongst all the lights, which of course will happen as it grows out. But then to have a little nature reserve trail that comes up this ridge to a couple of viewing points, which eventually looks out over the entire of downtown New York. So this should be one of the most pristine views we'll ever get in a vanilla build once the downtown is in. So I love that idea. Thank you, Mad Mark, for the suggestion, mate. We're definitely going to go with that. So let's go ahead and throw down a nature reserve main gate. I think I'm just happy to have this on the road because we're kind of looking at sort of country road vibes here. Do I mind the nature reserve gate like that? A little bit of commercial and then it sort of snakes off around the mountain. Might get some more luxurious housing in here as well, perhaps some modern mid-century stuff. Okay, cool. Oh, let's now do some pathways. So of course you will want a little bit of water, that's fine. And then let's give it its nature reserve. So we use a nature reserve pathway with decorations. So let's come out straight first of all, and then we'll do 2 little turn off points here. Cool. So lots of freeform here, and then we'll just start meandering our pathway up the mountain ridges. This would be an absolute sort of calf burner here, right? Super steep. Lots of ridge walks too. Also quite dangerous as well, you know. I don't want this to be a safe, leisurely walk. I want this to be sort of putting your life in the balance almost. We're going to head up these ridges here. Add in a couple of little curves where we can, where we come up these. And straight to the top now. That should do it. There we go. Super dangerous. You fall off here. It really is the end of days. Right, cool. So let's go ahead and get that park area painted all the way up. And I think as well, just for Mark's wonderful suggestion, we are going to go for Mad Mark viewpoint. Perhaps the person who discovered this viewpoint was called Mad Mark. Or I guess he was called Mark, but also deemed insane as well. Okay, and then let's get some viewing decks up here. So why don't we see if we can get 3 in? Kind of have them in a little trident at the end of the pathway here. Okay, and then we can also add some things in here as well. Maybe a little sort of campfire, little gazebo to rest at, maybe at the end of a long hike up here. Sit at the bench and chill out a bit. Okay, but that's really cool, isn't it? That ridge pathway all the way down. And one day, everyone, one day we will have that view. Can't wait to come back here. Once that view is ready, that is going to be something truly special, I think. That's going to be a really fun view. But it will take a while to get there. And of course, during our D10 time lapse, we can add some rocks on here and really accentuate this kind of mountain forest. But I love the idea, so thank you, Mark. Appreciate the comment, mate, and the idea as well. I did also want it coming up this way. I'm happy for it to meander a little bit. And then, do we just want to come straight up here, I wonder? Could do. It doesn't look like it's going to try and stop us, and then we could just hook in with that pathway there. And that's a dangerous one, isn't it, you know? You fall over here, you're onto the road. Thankfully, it's not very busy, though. Or perhaps we can just name the entire hill Mad Mark Mountain. Let me know what you think of that one. But we'll definitely add Mad Mark viewpoint in. And then if we put our nighttime view on, we should see those little trail of lights heading up the hill, which is great, right? If we get up to the viewpoint, can we see what it looks like down on the current? It's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad, especially with the silhouettes of the mountains. Oh, yes. That's the money shot. That is the money shot. But I love it, right? Such a fun build, everyone. Such a crazy fun build. A little bit of abandonment here. Let's check out why. I imagine this is because of education issues, isn't it? What's up? Because of work education too low. Yes, as we thought. And there was another one here as well, was there? Yeah, that should stop happening now. We're getting the campus in. We should stop abandoning due to low education. But either way, we just need to wait now for the academic works to take over. So we will be right back at the level 2 campus. And welcome back to a level 2 campus. So we have some fun things to play with now. Let's come back into our campus menu. So first of all, we have the Trade School Outdoor Study Hall. So I wonder where we can squeeze this in. Can we get it in there? We can as well. To the measurement. That was not planned, I promise. That was just perfect placement, right? Because I'm not a massive fan usually of these outdoor study halls. I think they're outdoor study areas rather. I find them a bit, I don't know, it's almost like it's unfinished. It'd be great if we could change the tree. The tiles and the benches seem a little weird and the pathways don't look the best. I don't know, I'm not usually a huge fan of these, but yeah, it's going to add attractiveness to our campus, so why not? Then we also have a gymnasium as well, which is going to continue to add campus attractiveness. So again, this is a kind of big asset. I think this would definitely be more appropriate up against our study hall. So why don't we see if we can have that here? Okay, for all those budding sort of farmers. I guess they're not trained to be farmers, are they? They're more sort of biological engineers here, I guess, right? I'd also love a little side entrance into the farm itself from the campus. So why don't we crack the fence about there? And then see if we can bring this one down. So, you know, if students need quick access into the facility, then they can get that through there. And then we'll just bring that fence line back up. So it stops about there. And they're already using it. Wonderful. Who are you, I wonder? You're going home. Great. Fantastic. Where do you live? Oh, way away. And you're walking, are you? Are you going to walk home? That's great if you are. Please don't drive. Yes, she is. Looks like she's going to walk home. Great. Walkability, everyone. Right? Pathways kicking in there. Very nice to see. I got a little bit of death over here, actually, but hopefully our graveyard isn't full, is it? Yes, it is. Our graveyard is full. Okay, wonderful. It's a good job we noticed that. Oh, my God. Right, okay. So, for those that don't know, you don't have to empty these out. If you have the Natural Disasters DLC, please come across into your Natural Disasters menu. Select the Collapse Disaster. Collapse the graveyard. It will do that. It will collapse. You can then just delete the rubble without having to wait for it to empty. Grab yourself another graveyard and then place it in here, and everyone is happy again. Then hopefully all of our hearses should then disperse back around the town to collect the dead. So yeah, please don't sit there and wait for them to empty out. The exact same process can also be done with vanilla landfill sites as well. But I hope we're not too far away now, are we, from proper death care? Yeah, like the crematoriums are so much better. Cryopreservatory as well, and the Korean one. We won't be really working with death care for too much longer, I don't think. Cool, but they will come and collect all these dead anyway. But back to building the campus. We've now got our gym here as well, which is cool. It's kind of adding to a little layer of height here as well that's coming down. See what else we unlocked. We also got the cafeteria. I feel like this would definitely be suited in and around this outdoor study area. So why don't we do that? Let's come on to our road length tool as well. Looks like we want one more tile there. There we go. And then we can draw this across. Definitely create some nice little green spaces in and around the campus as well. And then let's have our cafeteria over here next to our dorms and the outdoor study hall so people can grab a refreshment as they're studying. Okay, might even do 2 cafeterias. We'll see what we're like for campus attractiveness. Like as I said, I only really want to get one more level here and then we're done. And so in terms of actually unlocking the rest of the assets, of course, we're going to miss out on School of Tourism and Travel and the School of Engineering because we're not taking the trade school campus to level 5. We might come back at a later date and just cheese the campus level up to 5 and then drop it down to 3 again if we need that, because I probably want to use those larger assets in the downtown. But we're a long way from that, so we don't need to worry about it yet. Cool. What else did we get? We got another thing as well, didn't we? Trade school fountain. These are great, you know. Let's see where we could possibly squeeze one of these in. Why don't we go for perhaps a couple of fountains on the entrance into the campus here. And we also forgot to place our trade school groundskeeping thing as well. So I think, again, I'd like this just on the road, on the way into campus, kind of separated away from the campus. You know, you imagine the students don't really want to be exposed to the maintenance sort of side of things, right? They're really just there for partying and studying crops, right? The important things in life. There we go, that should do. And then we can trim off this pathway here again as well. And then probably this forest here wants to be abolished as well. Cool. That kind of highlights our approach into the campus. That should help increase our area attractiveness as well. Perfect, that's exactly what we need. So now we just need to wait for 800 students. We should have that capacity. Yeah, there's 2,000 eligible. That's absolutely fine. No problems there at all. And then we need more academic works as well. So I'll grant another one. Okay, trolley bus technology and off the fence is what they researched. An ambitious one-of-a-kind backyard fence made entirely out of toothpicks to oppose the usual mass-produced backyard fences. That is my kind of academic work. I absolutely love that. And then the old trolley bus technology revamped to fit the needs of the city struggling with pollution. Very nice. Cool. So, yeah, we'll be right back once we hit level 3. Then we can add our final assets and look toward a detailing time lapse for today. So we do need a little population expansion just as things are growing. So a few episodes ago we unlocked the high density goodness gracious, wrong asset. Disgusting. A few milestones ago we unlocked the high density residential zoning. And I think what I'd like to do is, rather than kind of growing out a new suburb here today, is to actually rework a little bit of this waterfront commercial or residential into high density stuff. So I want to see if we can actually correct our zonings here. Should we grab a little bit of park fence? Let's go for there. There we go. Cool. So yeah, I just want to draw in pretty obvious blocks of this. I do want them specifically zoned high density residential. is one of those things that can become very nasty very quickly, so you want to be careful with it. Okay, so same thing here again as well. Just want some sort of like block flats here, really, is what I'm after today. So it's also going to help increase our population too, of course. Any assets that are perhaps abandoned due to low density or due to the education, we can maybe switch out for a little bit of mixed use now, see what happens there, alright? Cool. Yeah, so it's a lot of this stuff I'm happy with. Yeah, this is fine. You know, just a nice little waterfront apartment building, that's all I'm really after here today. Yep, I'm for the Art Deco one. You guys are okay as well. So if you let them get to level 5, it gets very nasty. You have to be very careful. Cool, but you know, we know this by this point. For those that especially fall down Noob's Guide, we know how to be careful with the residential at this point. But it's nice, isn't it? You know, nice little bit of height in here now. It's going to hold more people and satisfy a little bit of that residential demand. Okay, you could also wait for repeated patterns here as well. These Art Deco ones work very, very nicely in repeated rows. We've done this before on the channel. So if you got the patience, or find it and plot the grow balls, use these. Very nice. Yeah, I don't think I hate it. Kind of blends in with the commercial front there, doesn't it? I'm happy with that. Make sure we don't get any horrific traffic here. We do have this bus line. How are you doing, I wonder? You're kind of blocking people here on the road though, aren't you, son? You need to move along a little bit. Let's grab your bus stop. Just budge you up. There you go, because his back end is blocking people from flowing on this junction. How is this line doing? This is the one that goes to the forestry area from last episode. Yeah, it's getting some decent news. I think the 70 capacity bus might be a bit overkill, but I guess the line's only going to get busier, so nice to be prepared in that sense. Cool. So yeah, I'm just going to keep finding some spots for high density residential. This is a great opportunity for it here. Okay, just throw out some spaces, different shapes and sizes as well if we can. Cool. So while we continue to add some choice residential to the front of our waterfront, okay, we do still have some decent residential demand, so let's keep it coming in. More students are still waiting to come in here. So I think I'd like to paint out an area here, okay? I want to kind of try this for the first time in the build guide and see how it does. So let's just go for like here as a general sort of test for the idea. And then we'll grab some nice road. Why don't we go for a 2-lane road with grass? It's always fairly fancy, isn't it? And then we'll see if we can bring out a little freeform curve here. Probably to about there. And then what I do want now is lots of very straight sections of road, because I want very obvious 4 deep tilings, okay? And then with this park, I would like to make it become the mid-century modern housing, which is very nice. And then I think with some specific 4x4 placements here, we can actually get some sort of luxurious hillside housing, right? And I think that the modern mid-century stuff is going to be perfect for that. So we'll keep drawing it in. We'll have to be careful here because we're getting some slightly sketchy terrains forming now, which is okay. It's expected when we're building on a hillside, of course. There we go. Might just need to amend the terrain so we get our perfect zonable sizes in. Okay, but I want to see what it looks like. These assets, they come with pools and sort of general niceness. Okay, they're nice looking assets, especially this one, right? It's got this big pool at the back there. That's exactly what we want. So I just want these houses to sit on the hill, just ever so slightly overlooking the whole city here. Love that you can see the pulp mill all the way over there in the forestry area from last episode too. So hopefully the idea isn't totally far-fetched, and I don't want lots of it either, just, you know, a select amount of very rich housing that lives atop the hill here. We will hopefully eventually have it naturally synchronized with the power grid. For right now, it is going to need a power line. Hillside development up here. We'll maybe have a few more in this basin if we can afford it. Looks like we might be able to. Maybe have a few more up this side. It might look a little bit janky at first, waiting for them to come in and settle in, but I think once it's got a forest around it and sort of rocks and stuff, it should look a little bit more organic on that hillside, I think. The teller is going to be the nighttime perspective. Yeah, I love just seeing those lights on the hill. We can definitely repeat this theme around this side over here as well. So it's a nice little way of bringing in some more population, because we do have pretty high demand at the minute, but we're not doing any major developments today. Really waiting for this tile to open up, which is, I've got some really fun plans for this. We're going to be playing with trains next episode. Yes, please, everyone. We can't wait to get involved with some trains. But otherwise, I'm definitely on board with the rich mid-century modern hillside houses here, okay? I hope you guys are as well. Let me know if you like this. We're also going to need a name for our rich, luxurious hillside suburbia here as well, so please get suggestions down in the comments below. And then we'll do a big renaming session soon. Okay? But either way, we need to wait for the campus, so we'll be right back again. Okay guys, and there we go. We are now at Renowned with 955 students, and then we definitely need lots more stuff in the campus now to get it to Acclaimed, and then Prestigious. Of course, it's final level, but we won't be going to those 2 levels today. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got the library. This is a big Chungus asset, so again, I think it's probably going to be more appropriate sat against more of the concrete numbers over here, isn't it? Kind of facing into this central sort of square, or I guess maybe it actually might work quite nicely next to the cafeteria. So indeed, if people want to perhaps spend some time studying the best ways to grow beets, for example, then they have the book club here, where they can go to the library and then enjoy the space in the book club, get something to eat, study outside before return to the dorms, and then go into the police academy, which is not on theme with the rest of the farming college, I admit, but perhaps that's not the police academy. Maybe this can be the vegetable academy instead, right? Actually, can we rename it? Yes, we can. So we'll go for the vegetable academy, I think, right? There we go. It's not police anymore. It's now veg. Right, see what else we got. She's got the IT club as well, the commencement office. So I think I do appreciate the commencement office, I think, don't I? But I don't know if I want it in a campus of this style. This is quite... It's getting more on the realm kind of grandiose to me, that one. More like a kind of classic, large, prestigious university. So the fact that I'm squinting at it, I think I'm going to omit the commencement office. We did, however, unlock a couple of statues, which I'm keen to see if we can implement either side of the roundabout. I think this might be quite a nice place for them. Let's have a look. Yes, there we go. Oh, looks like someone died at the university. Perhaps some of those experiments that happen at the Vegetable Academy have taken a life. Right? But it's all in the name of the greater good, so we have to accept it. Okay, yeah, I love these though. These little academic statues either side of the roundabout. That's really going to help frame our main building here. Okay, so we'll have those over there. And then IT Club would be the last one. All right, and again, I think we can... So we squeeze it in here. Just next door as part of this central square that's developed with the open green spaces. And then I think, we mentioned at the start of the episode that we want lots of forest around here. So I think we'll just let that forest now shelter the campus and keep it as a little sort of private institution that is very much an agricultural college for the honey farms over here, named after our wonderful patron subscriber Jeff Honey, of course. And I think the last thing I want to do is actually see if we can complete that dormitory pattern. Is that going to be something that we can do? Oh, no. That road is just, just a little bit too tight, isn't it? Okay, I think we'll leave it there then. Yeah, that's going to be a good point. I'm trying to force things in now where they don't belong. But either way, yeah, I definitely just want to have a level 3 campus here. Please get your name suggestions for this campus down in the comments below, and we'll do a big renaming session at the start of next episode. And also let me know... I'm a little bit more reluctant to have this all over the mountain. I don't know if we should have this here. Let me know if you want more of this in the foothills. Yeah, I think I like it, but I'd like your guys' opinion first as to whether or not it expands anywhere else. But yeah, let's detail it up, and then we will be right back. Okay guys, let's have a detailing review. So around the front of the campus here, I've added in a little gap in the fence for the pathway to resume, which is getting lots of use now. Lots of people choosing to walk up and down this side of the campus, which we can see. Switched out the statue in the middle for one of the ones that came with plazas and promenades. Just thought it was a little bit more appropriate for perhaps a sort of Institute of Agricultural Engineering, or I guess Agricultural Engineering maybe, is kind of the vibe here. So I like that. Then our statues settling really nicely now. And again, I just love a big shout out as well for kind of this viewpoint here. Look how much kind of personality and love this main sort of run through the city is getting now on both sides. We're starting to see different developments coming in. And you can see how that is going to continue as we curve up and off the hill and eventually into downtown Orchid Bay over this way. But the fence pattern has been brought in, and then lots of this mountain forest, which you can see in full effect now. Looks really cool. Super happy with this, leaving a lot of the rock and the brown stone exposed. And then we come into the main campus where we had some wild hedge patterns with a simple jacaranda pattern just to highlight the spaces we had left over. And then detailed up some prop space in and around some empty squares we had near the cafeteria. Also switched the cafeteria and the library around as well, just so the cafeteria was closer to this little open area here. And then more patterns over this way before we merge back into the farm. And this pathway is getting a ton of use, and there's a lot of walkers choosing to come and go from this area, I think because the bus line is just down here. There's a bus stop here, so there's a lot of people getting on and off and arriving at the campus there. And then you're probably noticing the biodome as well. So through this in, I kind of forgot about this asset, to be honest. It's from the high-tech content creator pack. I think the biodome is just a park asset. And I thought maybe it would be appropriate if they're perhaps studying some way of, growing crops indoors. They would have maybe a biodome like this on campus that they can utilize for experiments, etc. So I thought it might be fun to include it. And then, of course, rounding out the campus with the groundskeeper building on the edge of a very sort of thick forest line that keeps the campus surrounded. I'm super happy with how it looks. You kind of just see it poking through the trees. I really like that aesthetic. And then we come around to the other side of the campus where we arrive at, again, just some more cute recreational space available for students, including fountains and benches and statues and whatnot, general rec space and bins, etc. And then we have this little country pathway now, which is actually getting use back out onto the road through the forest and then into our hillside suburb, which have just expanded a little bit, a few more zonings. Let me know what you think of this. If we do like this idea, I will continue to place this over here and then probably around this side as well. So we'll have like a really kind of luxurious, rich suburb here. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to do it, but let me know what you think of it and we'll sort of see what the general consensus is on that. Then I love this climb. This is so nice. Really cool. Actually reminds me a lot of the walks in the Lake District in the UK. Lots of these exposed ridge lines. If anyone's ever done sharp edge or striding edge, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. Yes, and then we walk up, right, and you get a really cute view of Orchid Bay as you come up here. Absolutely love it. Just more of the town exposes itself as you climb higher and higher. And it already looks so big, doesn't it? Already looks so huge. And yeah, really happy with the way that it's growing. And of course, then that view up at the top has been rounded out with a little bit of fencing at the top just to secure the summit. And then some big rocks up here too, alongside some small trees. And then you've got the 3 viewpoints here. So yeah, really cool. So let me know indeed what you guys want the campus to be called, whether or not we want to see this use of modern mid-century expand across the mountain, and indeed what we want to call the mountain. I think I'm pretty much on board with Mad Mountain or Mad Mark Mountain, something along those sorts of lines. But please do let me know what you think as well. Otherwise, guys, that is going to do it for today. A really cute, simple campus build today. It's the first time I've not really taken one to a full level 5 sprawling huge complex with a varsity sports stadium in it. And I've really enjoyed it. Kind of been a little more tame, a little more sort of under control with campus is definitely a way to go with it. And if anything, it gives us more room within Orchid Bay's education system to accommodate all 3 campus types into the city, alongside some of the new university buildings as well, maybe. Don't forget as well to let me know what you think of today's name requests. We've got a few things to name in the city and we'll do it all at the start of next episode. Please do enjoy your cinematics, but otherwise I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.